Hello and welcome to the Nerdpool. My name is Johnny and this week I've been checking out the definitive Incredible Hulk. Now this book I actually think is a brilliant book for first time readers and for people who are new to the Hulk. I kind of want to get to know more about him and kind of some of the history he's got. Unlike a lot of collections that you can buy nowadays, this story isn't actually just like a bunch of issues from a run or a particular story combined all into one. This is actually sort of like a greatest hits. This has a whole bunch of different stories in here from the Hulk's past. And it even starts off with the very first appearance of the Hulk, the obviously Stan Lee and Jack Kirby created original Incredible Hulk #1, which sees Bruce Banner get hit by that gamma bomb, trying to save his soon to become very closest friend and one of his best friends, Rick Jones, from getting caught in the blast as well. He gets caught by the blast and inevitably becomes the Incredible Hulk. And you obviously see him in this book in his original grey appearance as well. In that issue, we also get our very first look at General Ross and the soon-to-be love interest Betty Ross as well. Moving on from that story, we then get a couple of issues of the Fantastic Four, which sees the Incredible Hulk face off against the Thing from the Fantastic Four. And then in the second issue, it ends up being the Hulk versus both the Avengers and the full Fantastic Four, because the Hulk is looking like he's trying to exact revenge on the Avengers for no longer being part of the Avengers, and the Fantastic Four kind of just get caught in the crosshairs there. We then also get another issue which sees the first attempt at Banner and Betty trying to get married, which sees Banner thinking that he's finally free of the Hulk and thinking he's cured. He unfortunately gets struck by a gamma ray from the leader, turns back into the savage, mindless Hulk, and ends up on a rampage fighting against a revenge-driven Rhino, which the leader set free and let him go on a rampage to exact his revenge as well. We then also get an issue where he's part of the Defenders, which sees him teaming up with Namor and Doctor Strange. And then we inevitably get the official marriage of Bruce and Betty after both him and the Hulk have officially been separated and become two separate beings. You've got the Hulk who's being chased down by the Hulkbusters team, which is a team that's supposed to be designed to stop the Hulk and basically get rid of the Hulk so the Hulk is no longer a problem, whilst Bruce is off trying to get married to Betty. We also then get another story, a very 90s story, which is very clearly drawn by Todd McFarlane because it's very clearly his art style, which sees the Hulk, who is now formed back with Banner and is now for some reason back in his grey colourway. Why? Doesn't fully explain it in this book, but I'll get onto that a bit later. But it sees this grey Hulk version getting kind of agitated about being in bad weather and ends up coming across Wolverine, and the two of them really duke it out and have this crazy, anger-filled, animalistic fight between Wolverine and the Hulk. After that, the book then has the Future Imperfect storyline, which sees the now Professor Hulk, which is Banner and the Hulk's consciousness and bodies coming together as one. That Professor Hulk is transported to the future, to this dystopian future, where he has to try and stop the Maestro, which, if you're not aware of who the Maestro is already by now, the Maestro is basically a future evil version of the Hulk. The world went to chaos, there's a nuclear war, Hulk's the only one who can survive. He's then spent all those years soaking up radiation, built a new civilization and rules it with absolute power. This book then finishes up with a kind of crazy storyline that again also is not something that's explained very clearly in this book, but you kind of get the gist of it. They do explain it a bit. Basically you get this sort of initial scene where you've got the three consciousnesses, where you've got a grey Hulk, green Hulk, and then Bruce Banner. They're all talking, I would assume, inside Banner's mind. They're all talking to each other. Banner's basically about to go crazy. Betty's just been killed by the Abomination, and he loses his mind. Instead of having these two Hulk consciousnesses, which are somewhat still in control, he goes absolute mindless savage, goes on this rampage, tracks down the Abomination. We have this crazy fight between the Hulk and the Abomination, and just when the Abomination is about to lose and get killed by the Hulk, he turns back into Banner, captures him, and basically then tortures the Abomination for leaving his own wife. and just leaves him there under the supervision and capture of General Ross. So that's pretty much what this story has. There's a lot of really good sort of key points in the Hulk's history, and I think this book does a really good job at showing the kind of things that the Hulk has had to go through. The one issue that I have is that this book doesn't necessarily explain how he kind of goes from being Grey Hulk in the start to when he's in the Fantastic Four, he's then green, to then being green all the way along, how he separates from Banner, how he then rejoins with Banner, and then how he all of a sudden becomes grey again. It doesn't really explain any of that very well. And that's where the back of the book is actually very good. In the back of the book, let me just get this up, you get this long sort of history of the Hulk. And it kind of goes through, basically touches on all of the stuff that's happened to the Hulk. His time with the Avengers, his time working with the Defenders, kind of explains how he was grey, how he was green, kind of his exposure to Gamma throughout the years, and the kind of differences that he's had to do. It then goes on to explain stories that aren't in here, such as World War Hulk and Planet Hulk, and how he had to deal with the Illuminati and everything like that. This is why I think this is a brilliant book for new time readers of the Hulk who want to get into the Hulk and want to understand more about the Hulk, because it does a really good job of explaining all of it. If you've not got it in an actual issue inside the book, you do have it in that long sort of article at the back which explains everything away. I want to say a huge thank you to my awesome mother-in-law, because I don't think I know very many people whose mother-in-laws would go out and buy them comic books and kind of fuel their addiction with this kind of stuff. She actually bought me this as a Christmas present, and I've only just got around to reading it, so I'm super grateful to her for buying me this. Today we have it, guys. That's what I think of that book, and that's what I think about the stories that are in there. I absolutely love them. I think they're really good, and I think they're a good way of being able to go, okay, I like the art style here, I like the story that's being told here. I'm going to go and find the full story that's going on, and I'm going to read that. But that's just my personal take on that book. I want to get into more comic books and see what else you guys like and what you want to see me read. So let me know your recommendations for some of your favorite comic books that you read. Maybe your favorite Hulk stories, maybe your favorite DC characters. I'd love to hear your recommendations on what you think I should read next. And of course, as soon as I read them and enjoy them, I'll let you guys know what I think about them, necessarily even if I don't enjoy them. So just leave a comment down below of what you'd like to see me read next, and I will catch you in the next video where we'll be going over more historic comic books.